Hey guys, what's up? My name is Shanerator. Today, I recount a tale unlike any other. Behold, my trip to hell and back. So going back in time, many moons ago. Come on, Shane, you should go. Could be a great opportunity to meet some friends. Good ol' mom and dad. They found a local youth group that was going to a summer camp in just a few short weeks. Yeah, listen to your father. You won't meet anybody if you stay in your room playing video games all day. No, I don't need anybody else. And so I went, and thus began our trek to Round Lake, also known as the Pit of Hell. Actually, it really wasn't called that. I just kind of threw that in there for dramatic tension. But then, after several long and arduous hours on the road, we arrived at the location of interest. Actually, not really. We got to a gravel lot that was like 8 miles away from Round Lake. We disembarked right then and there in the gravel lot. Not to mention, it was like 11 p.m. No one with any sense of sanity was going to hike all the way to Round Lake at that point in time. I mean, I was a little tempted to show off. I mean, youth groups usually have some cute girls there. So we all did what seemed the logical thing to do, and that was sleep on the gravel lot. Seriously, we just unrolled our sleeping bags and just slept right there in the gravel lot. Well, Shanerator, why didn't you guys just find like a patch of grass or something? I don't know. We were a bunch of 14 to 19-year-olds not really knowing what we were doing. And I will say, it was about one of the worst nights of sleep that I ever had. Having all those little bits of rock and gravel pushing at about 74 different pressure points on your back doesn't do a lot of wonders for the vertebrae.
Your spine is more twisted than Sinbad's take on marriage.
You never really quite realize how early the sun comes up unless you're sleeping outside. It was like one of those nights where your head hits the pillow and then a moment later the sun is beaming through your window. Except I didn't have a pillow. What I had was like this 8x6 piece of filled padding that the company had the audacity to call a pillow. It was more like a cushion for a hamster. But here we are, awake at the crack of dawn. Me and the rest of the crew rolled up our sleeping bags and began our long journey to Round Lake, also known as the Pit of Hell. Okay, I'll stop doing that. I just get a kick out of saying that every time. Did I mention that this was an 8-mile hike? And so after hours and hours of hiking through this endless wooded trail, we made it to Round Lake because there really wasn't anything else to do. We all hunkered down, pitched up our tents, and just went to sleep. I sort of befriended a guy named Jagged, who graciously let me spend the night in his tent. When a tent is advertised as sleeping 2 people, what that means is 2 full-grown men can sleep shoulder to shoulder with no other room to maneuver. I wasn't complaining. I had a wall of tent fabric protecting me from the rays of the sweltering hot sun. So it seems like mere moments later, the sun beams right down through the walls of our tent. I began to unzip the flap on the inside of the tent, revealing that netting that you can look through and view the outside. But then I noticed something a little weird about that netting. I didn't have a very good view of the outside, but then I looked closer. A wall of mosquitoes literally coating the outside of that tent. Waiting for the exact moment I open up the door of the tent to go in and commence their blood-sucking ritual of death. Did I mention I didn't bring bug spray? I did bring a hoodie that I was able to wear, and let me tell you something. That sweatshirt did not help one bit. Those freakish mutants of nature known as mosquitoes were undeterred by my jacket. They were still able to insert their proboscis into the sleeves of my sweatshirt, effortlessly accessing my epidermis. So while I'm trying to fend off this barrage of mosquitoes that were attacking me, I had to go drop some dumpage. I did remember to bring an extra roll of toilet paper. So here I go, trudging through the thick of the forest, looking for the appropriate habitat in which to conduct my business. After, I don't know, about 5 minutes of walking in one direction, I come across a pretty nice clearing. Not too many mosquitoes, and just a nice big stump that I can sort of lean on. So there I am. I'm just leaning on this stump, just trying to, when I hear this rustle in the nearby bushes. And so I turn real quick. I make eye contact with another human being. That was probably the longest stare down I have ever experienced. There's this dude who's just staring at me. I managed to break this perpetual gaze and glance down. The guy also had a toilet paper roll, and he backs away slowly without a word. There were several other times on that trip where I ran into that guy. I don't think we ever spoke a word to one another. I never even learned of his name. So anyways, the day progresses, not a whole lot takes place. Just me kind of moping around the campsite, making in-depth conversation with everybody I came across. Hey, what's up? My name's Shane. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, you know, just camping. You go camping often? Nah, man. My parents made me come to this. Really? Me too. Cool. Yeah, cool. Fast forward a couple hours, and it was dinner time. And that night's specialty cuisine was mac and cheese. And so I go ahead and tear open the top of that package. In the bottom of that freeze-dried food packet was a glorious mixture of cheese dust and noodles. I swear I did what the package said to do. I added the hot water in the packet and sealed it for 5 to 10 minutes. Cooking a Pop-Tart was harder than doing this.
Step 1, toast the Pop-Tarts.
And yet, I somehow managed to mess it up. After those 10 long minutes, I looked inside the package, and what I saw was not magical. There was maybe, I don't know, 30% of it that was properly cooked. There was about another third of that freeze-dried mac and cheese that still looked very much freeze-dried. And the last third of that mac and cheese was completely soggy and overcooked. Commence heartfelt cinematic soundtrack. I ate as much as I could, which in all actuality was not very much. But then, I remembered something. There was yet a glimmer of hope. The super deluxe bag of trail mix that I had bought at Walmart before the trip. That was loaded with crap no one cares about, like peanuts and raisins, but also had some of that good stuff. That bag of trail mix never left my side. It was my primary source of nourishment, my point of consolation, my best friend. With this trusty bag of trail mix to provide sustenance mentally, physically, and psychologically, I was able to survive for the next 48 hours on that camping trip. By all accounts, I should have been dead. But thanks to my street smarts, resourcefulness, and an unassuming bag of trail mix, I was able to pull through. And so, there you have it. My encounter with the great outdoors, otherwise known as the pit of hell. Take it from me, a psychologist in training. So if you ever have the opportunity to go on a camping trip, specifically one that is an 8-mile hike to the lake, just don't do it. Stay home and play video games and sleep. But if you decide, for some reason, to go against my hermetically sealed, watertight argument against camping trips, listen to Theodore Roosevelt.
Walk softly and carry a big bag of trail mix.